guys, Rob the Machino here again with another bass video. I'm going to try and talk and do it really quickly this time because the last one was nearly 40 minutes long, way too long now. So today I thought I'd show you how to make a bass from your own voice using Vocoded. So for this we're going to need three elements. We're going to need a bass noise, we're going to need a vocal sample, i.e. our own voice, and we're going to need a vocoder to run them through. So, empty project, let's create a bass first. And for this we will use Citrus, because I've got a seamless bass in my head. So we'll start with a default patch. Ooh! Bring the pitch down. Nice. Now, you can use any bass noise for this, you don't have to use the bass noise that I'm going to create here. Any basic bass patch, massive, harmor, that kind of thing will be fine. I probably should have done this before I started the video. I'll tell you what I do, is I'll quickly make this bass patch, which doesn't sound like much at the moment, and we'll be back in a minute. Bye. Am I back? I think I'm back. I'm back. Okay, so I've made this bass noise. Pretty standard. It's a saw wave, detuned by another saw wave pitched up with some random pitching. And then that is being slightly oscillated by a sine wave. So one sine wave being modulated by another. Oh, you know all that crap anyway, you know how to make a bass. That's not what we're here to do. So, we've got our bass. Let's draw out a bass note in a sensible G. Okay, and now we need a vocal sample. Fortunately, in a bit of a Blue Peter moment, I should have one I created earlier. Probably should have done all this before I started the video again. Vocals. Yes. Oh, here we go. So what I did is what a twat. So what I did was recorded myself twice, my vocal. Once just making random noises like, and then another one saying bass gorilla, I think.
Bass gorilla.
Yes. So we'll take the bass gorilla one
Bass
first.
gorilla.
So now in this pattern we've got the bass noise playing and the vocal sample.
Bass gorilla.
Sounds rubbish. So we'll put the bass onto a mixer channel. We'll put the vocal onto a separate mixer channel. So we've got the bass on 20, the vocal on 21, and then on a third mixer channel we will use FL Studio's vocoder, which is a vocodex. Now all vocoders are going to work basically the same in that you have a carrier, which is the bass note in this instance. So the carrier is the noise, effectively, and then a modulator, which is going to modulate the noise. So you can see the little lips icon there. The modulator is going to be the vocal, because that's going to modulate the G bass note that we just wrote out. The way to set this up is, again, only in FL Studio, unfortunately. You have to look at your own DAWs manual, your own workstation's manual. So I route the bass to the channel that the vocoder's on. I route the vocal to the channel that the vocoder's on. And then in the vocoder, I say the modulator is going to be 20. It's going to be 21, sorry, which was our vocal, and the carrier is going to be 20, which was our bass sound. So now what's happening is the bass is coming in here into the carrier and it's playing that long note out, but as it plays, because we've got these in the same pattern and we've rigged it up to go to this vocoder, the carrier signal, the bass signal, is going to get modulated by the vocal, which was, if you remember, I won't be able to hear that now,
Bass gorilla.
which was that. So let's play those together.
Bass gorilla.
So it's already changed. Let's turn these up.
Bass gorilla. Bass gorilla.
And then there's always a whole bunch of options, so you can choose if you want more of the carrier, more of the modulator, that kind of thing. So what I'll do is loop this over and have a play.
Bass gorilla.
Bass gorilla. Bass gorilla. Bass gorilla. Bass gorilla. Bass gorilla. Bass gorilla. Bass gorilla. Bass gorilla. Bass gorilla. Bass gorilla. Bass gorilla. Bass gorilla. Bass gorilla. Bass gorilla. Bass gorilla. Bass gorilla. Bass gorilla. Bass gorilla.
Now if you're watching me turn these dials and you're thinking, what's he doing, what are all of those, I haven't got a clue. That's not how I use a lot of this stuff. Obviously for the getting the sounds in there, this method of doing the carrier modulator is not random. But for all these dials, I mean, I pretty much guess what these are. This I'd say was male-female, because it's got male-female singles. This has got one person and then two, so I guess it's more like a chorus effect. So really, any sound design like this, just mess around with it. I think I said in my last video, it doesn't matter at this stage, because this will get chopped up and processed later anyway. So just have a fiddle. So at the moment, the way that this is rigged, this seems to be doing it. If I play this through again, we can go from a really distorted bass that's not, you can't really hear the modulator, to a much more weak bass where you can clearly hear the modulator. So let's have a listen to those. Yeah, well, I'm a neuro villain guy, so I like my bass distorted. And then the other thing you can do in most vocoders, I think, is EQ. So we take out some of that low mid, bump up the highs a bit. And there you go. We've got another unique bass. We're making so many unique basses. We could just render that out now. Obviously we wouldn't. We'd make a MIDI clip and we'd resample it. And if you want to look at how to render that out and how to process it further, my last video, and I think a couple of videos before that, demonstrated all of that stuff. Yeah, and then you can go nuts. See, all sorts of great fun to be had with that, rendering out basses. And then I recorded this. I don't know, don't ask. Let's see. That's pretty mean. And that was me, that's this. It's just me being a twat, really. Because what I was thinking when I started doing this was, a lot of the times when I create my basses, I spend ages using EQs and EQ sweeps and filter sweeps and stuff to get vowel-y movements in. And I even started doing that with vocoded basses. So I'd vocode a bass and then start processing it to get vowel-y movements in. So I thought, why not just record a load of vowel-y sounds? And then so I've started doing that a lot. So yeah, just record yourself kind of going and all that nonsense, and then you get this kind of effect. You don't get that kind of effect, you get this kind of effect. into some mean basses. So that's how you vocodex. Basically, you need a modulator, which is a carrier, sorry, which is your bass, a modulator, which is going to be preferably your own voice, because that's really creating a unique sound. You put those on their own mixer channel. You route both of those mixer channels to a third mixer channel, which has got your vocoder on it, and then you route the carrier in, the modulator in, bit of EQing, bit of messing around with the dials, and you've got another unique bass courtesy of Don't Rob the Machina. Well, I learned this shit off other people, so you've got it courtesy of them. Anyway, hope that was useful. Any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll try and answer them. Yeah, happy producing. Peace.